Hey everyone, this is Alpaco and I wanted to talk about the two big announcements for Micro Four Thirds. This week, both Olympus and Panasonic are announcing their cameras. Olympus decided to schedule their announcement the day before Panasonic. A weird date to schedule their announcement because October 27th is the 20th anniversary date for Lumix cameras. This could be seen as a power move to show off their WOW camera before the GH6, but this could also be seen as a way to concede because they may think that the GH6 is going to be a better camera. This could also very easily be a simple coincidence, which in my opinion is the most likely thing. The month of September and October is when most of the big tech announcements occur. Any month after October gets lost to the holidays. A little story about the EM1 Mark II. I remember when this camera was being announced. It was during Photokina 2016. It was one of the last videos that Kai Wong and Locke did together for Digital Rev. The review itself was one of Kai's first videos when he left and went solo. It was a few months before the GH5, so that camera wasn't even in my line of sight. I remember being so excited. I already owned an EM1, the original one, and I had a GH3. I remember thinking, man, I want an EM1 body with at least some of the GH4 video capabilities. All I really wanted was higher bitrate 1080p video, but still have all the EM1 photo features. I was thinking, oh man, I hope it has 50 megabits per second bitrate. The thought of 10-bit 422 didn't even cross my mind because it wasn't a thing back then. So when it was announced to have 237 megabits per second cinema 4K and regular 4K with 100 megabits per second and 1080p 60, I lost my mind. I thought, dang, that right there is the perfect all-rounder. Even after the GH5 was announced, with the features that it had, I remember thinking, well, the body was bigger than the GH4, which was already bigger than the EM1, and I really didn't like that. I was already into filmmaking, but all those features don't make you a better filmmaker. I sold the GH3 and got a Blackmagic Pocket. That was my learning filmmaking camera. I remember thinking the GH5 was a good hybrid, but it was a significantly inferior photography camera. It just doesn't have the burst rate, the autofocus accuracy, and all the other fun little Olympus features that I've already been spoiled with. The EM1 Mark II continues to be my all-time favorite camera, and I've owned a lot of other cameras. In my time, I've owned a GH3, a GX7, a GH4, a Blackmagic Pocket, the original one, a Sony A7S, and a Sony A7S Mark II, a Sony ZV-1, a Canon C100, a Canon 5D original and Mark II, a Ricoh GR, a Fuji X10. My first digital camera was a Canon T2i. I've owned a lot of cameras. I've handled all kinds of film cameras as well. But for some reason, this camera has just been my everything. I've never loved an inanimate object as much as I've loved this camera. I tell you this because I'm not someone that's ignorant of what other capabilities, of the capabilities of other cameras. I'm not ignorant of how much the market has changed since 2016. At that time, a whole lot of people thought that was going to be the end of Micro Four Thirds. Both the EM1 Mark II and the GH5 proved them wrong. They instead revolutionized cameras and pushed the envelope. I mean, look, the A7S III is the first Sony camera, hybrid camera, to offer 10-bit internal recording, and that was released in late 2020. The GH5 was already doing that in 2017. The Sony A1 and the Canon R3 are $6,000 sports cameras that have half the burst rate of this 4-year-old camera. Both of those $6,000 cameras still don't have the feature sets that this camera has. But this market, the market today, has changed drastically. Regardless of what these cameras ushered in, the next Panasonic Olympus really has to offer a whole lot, because a lot of the advantages that Micro Four Thirds cameras have are dwindling. Now, the market thinks they need so much. Their standards are so ridiculously high that if they make a wrong move, it really can hurt them. Olympus has already gone bankrupt. This isn't even the original Olympus company anymore. Panasonic is yielding less profit year over year than the other companies. I don't honestly know if the Lumix Micro Four Thirds line can survive if the GH6 tanks. I don't think Micro Four Thirds systems will be here in the same capacity in 4 years if these two cameras aren't revolutionary. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they'll die out, not completely. But I simply don't see Micro Four Thirds cameras being sold outside of the niche groups of users it already has. It seems that in the world of hybrid cameras, it's full frame or die. I hope the new cameras are going to be amazing. Thanks for watching and have a great day.